Hey guys, it's Nikki. This is Scratching the Dirt. It's been a minute since I've talked to you guys, since I've shown you anything that's been going on. Um, so it's Saturday and I'm out here filming pretty much everything I'm doing just in bits and pieces. So hopefully I can put this together in something that makes sense. But I've got a couple of projects that I know I want to get done today. One is getting this pelletized bedding into the run. We went yesterday to Tractor Supply and bought this pelletized bedding. Typically, I would actually buy this at the local feed store where I get my feed. The last time I went, though, they didn't have any. And the time before that, they had two. And so when it's not horse season, when it's not show season, they don't tend to stock this a lot. And to be honest, rather than make two trips, I knew they had it at Tractor Supply. So I went and bought it there. It's the same price at both places. I prefer to shop at my local feed store rather than a big box place, but it is what it is. I knew I wanted to get this project done. So this time I bought from Tractor Supplies, and all it is pelletized bedding. It's for horses and small animals. It is these little, like, just granules. It kind of looks like chicken feed, to be honest. And I use it because our first year with the chickens out in the run, we didn't have this out there, and it would get so muddy. And we've been having more rain this year and last year than we did that first year. And last year I decided to go ahead and start using this because it absorbs the moisture. And also, I've talked before about how we have really hard clay soil, sticky, gross, red clay soil. And this gives them something to scratch around in that's a lot easier to dig in. So I have 8 bags of this, which is going to go into the run. Earlier I shot a before, so you should be able to see the before. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread this, I'm going to rake it out, and then I'm going to wet it. So you actually will see, if you're on a lot of TikTok and YouTube and stuff, if you ever see like kids that are getting their stalls ready when they're doing show and stuff, they actually wet this stuff, usually straight in the bag, and then spread it out. I've got a lot of holes in there that I want to fill up. So I'm going to get this spread out, and then we're going to go in with the hose and wet it down, and then the chickens will just go crazy. And before you know it, we'll have more holes again. But it does help when the rain comes. It helps keep the muddy puddles. We can see when the storms are falling, you can see puddles starting to form in there. And then right after it finishes raining, it just sucks right up, and it's good to go. So that was the first project that I definitely want to get done. I also went to the nursery, the local nursery, yesterday, and got some more plants. The jalapenos, she finally got the jalapenos in. So I had gone like mid-June, and she said 4th of July. And then we went 4th of July weekend, and she said next week. And we went last week. And when we, I can't remember, was it last? Anyway, we went back when we were supposed to, and they weren't there yet. The guy that does her plants, grows the seedlings, didn't have them ready yet. But we saw, she posts on Facebook when she's got new stuff in. We saw that she had the peppers. So we went and got jalapeno plants. I got a lemongrass, and then I got a little freebie plant that I talked about earlier when I was working on that stuff. But I want to get the jalapenos into the garden today. Jose's currently working on one of the beds that I'm going to put some of the peppers into. Where the green beans were, when I pulled those out, I made room I put in purple whole peas, but that's just a line along the panel that's going to grow up. And then behind that, I have room for some of the peppers. And then I also have shishito peppers. We're going to look at those. I have shishito peppers that are growing. Train, y'all, sorry. Hang on. Okay, the train it's almost done. It's at the end. So while I was waiting for the train, I took one bag over there and threw it in the run. But back to what I was saying, I was talking about how I have some shishito peppers in a row over there, and I'll show you. They're really small. Like, shishitos are supposed to be at least like 3 inches long, and they're supposed to ripen up and become red. you can eat them green and all that, but they're really small. They don't taste very good. And so this is my second year to try these specific shishito peppers where I got these seeds from. And I'm just going to pull them. Like, I'm frustrated and I'd rather have jalapenos. So those are going to come out. I wanted 7, I think, jalapeno plants, and I ended up with 12 because she sold them in 6 cells. So I bought 2 of those. So I've got plenty of pepper plants, jalapenos specifically, which I want because I want to be able to pickle up a whole bunch of them. Plus, we eat them fresh. A lot of times we will go get one when we're cooking. So we both like both fresh jalapenos and pickled jalapenos. So we want all the jalapenos, and we make a lot of salsa and eat a lot of salsa. So I'll show you guys that. I feel like ants are biting my ankles. And that was my 2 projects that I want to get done today: the chicken run and the peppers in the ground. Sorry, y'all, that's sweat. That is sweat. It's not super hot today, really. It's like in the mid 80s, I think, but it's really, really humid. So I'm also, last Saturday, I made myself sick. I went too far, did too much, or the Saturday before, I can't remember. But I made myself sick staying out here too long in the humidity. So I'm making sure to take lots of breaks. I just did some stuff over there in the garden, and then I'm sitting here in the car. We have the car pulled up. The chicken coop's right here. So we have the car pulled up. Jose backed it in yesterday, so I wouldn't have to go so far with this. I do have the wheelbarrow over here. I can actually wheelbarrow it over to the door, which I might do that, make it a little easier on myself. Just, I like to push it, and I like to feel like I've done a good day's work, but I also get to the point where I start feeling really, really lightheaded, and I can't breathe, and it's a lot in the humidity. It's different in December than it is in July. So we're going to see. I'm going to show you hopefully steps along the way here, and then the finished product after I get it all down. But here we go. Let's do the chicken run. Okay. I'm in the corner of the coop over here by this little plant. That's a little carrot bed and the goji berry right there for your bearings. I'm in the corner of the coop. I'm just going to get kind of a film it before, because I went yesterday and bought 8 bags of pelletized bedding so that I can throw some more in here. You can see there's low spots over there. This is like a kind of a little hill, and then that's been dug out. That's been dug out. They're digging out here. There's lots of places because they dig, and that's fine. That's what they need to do, because they get down in the dirt and they dust bath in the dirt. So, but I just wanted kind of a before. There's a spider web. I just walked into a spider web. There's a big, I don't think it films as well, but that's a big hole right there. And every time I come in here, I've kind of fall into that one. And then we have this corner where they are constantly digging. So I have that rock on the outside, but I'm just going to add some more material in here, give them some more to scratch around in, more to absorb the rain when it rains. Jose did this waterer yesterday. I came home from work and he was like, I did the waterer, because we had been talking about how when I bought the pieces to make this feeder, it came with the waterers, and we never did the waterers, and I'm struggling with these here. They just are a mess. But here we are like 24 hours in, and I'm already seeing that these are getting pretty dirty too. So yeah, we'll have to think about that and see what we can do. But here's the before, and then I'm gonna do some work in here, and then we'll look at the after. So those are not exactly tossable, but I knew I had this door open behind me, and I don't feel like chasing down chickens today. Oh, girls, it's okay. So now I see one of the things I get a little bit envious of as I'm watching videos of other people is when they can allow their chickens to free range. I would love to be able to let the chickens free range. There's several reasons why we can't. The first reason is that we don't have a fence around our entire property. We have a fence around our garden, which we didn't originally. That was due to deer. And so I'm not necessarily worried about them wandering off because chickens know where home is. They'll make their way back. Or even if they didn't make it in time to get in the coop, we have a million trees. They can roost in the trees overnight. But we have a loose dog problem here. So there are many people in town that have lost part or all of their flock due to dogs that are either unowned or that are not properly cared for and are allowed to run loose. So the first year we had chickens, we got 3 roosters. Out of 12, we got 3 roosters, and I didn't want roosters. So we pulled them out. Jose built a chicken tractor. Hey, don't go that way. No. Don't go that way. Nope. Whew. Okay. I was afraid of that. Anyway, Jose built a chicken tractor. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just do this. Sorry. I'm trying to move all this. Go. I'm going to get these in, then shut the door. And then when I freak them out, coming at them with big bags, they can't run out. Whew. Y'all, see already this humidity. Oh, they all went inside the coop. I really scared them. I'm sorry, girls. I'm just going to get this done and then I'll be out of your house. And now that I'm getting this in here, I'm thinking 8 bags wasn't enough. Dang it. Okay, well, it is what it is. It's what I've got. So we're going to make it work. All right. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then there's one behind me. 8. So let me finish what I was saying. Jose built a chicken tractor, and we had the roosters separated. The 3 roosters were in that chicken tractor until we found the lady that took them. One day I was home, and I heard the roosters making a lot of noise, and there were 2 dogs. There was 2 specific dogs that were a big problem last year. Those dogs are no longer a problem in town. I don't know what happened to them. I don't know if their owner took them and fixed the get out problem, or I don't know, or somebody finally just shot them, to be honest. Those 2 dogs were running circles around my chicken tractor, and the roosters were going crazy. In the run here, I have protection all the way around the entire thing. Things can still get in. I'm not naive, but they have to dig more than 16 inches deep to get up underneath here. That's how deep we have spikes, like these things. I've shown them before, that go down all the way around. So they have to really spend some time and do some work, because that's clay. They're not going to, even a dog, it's going to take a while to get through it. But the dogs are the main reason why I don't let the girls free range. We let them out earlier this year in the spring and let them wander around, and they wandered in this grass, and then they wandered over here in this little patch. And then I shooed them all back inside when they got into my bed and started eating the radishes that were there at the time. So I would be fine with I would be fine with planting a garden for them out there. If there was a way to keep them kind of on this side and safe. It's the dogs that are what I'm concerned about. So we don't free range. Maybe someday. Maybe someday we'll get a full property fence and then I can just let them go. And then my only concerns would be predators from the air. But for now, if I'm in the middle of something, I don't want them to get out and then I have to chase them down and get them back in. Okay, I gotta go get my knife so I can bust these open. Okay, so the girls are probably not about to like me very much. Let me make sure I have enough hose. I'm going to actually take the hose into the run, which I don't usually do. If I spray stuff in there, I usually spray it from outside through the chicken wire. But I want to try something while I'm in here because that water that Jose just put together yesterday, I want to see if spraying them will like kind of refresh that. Like I know this won't. Like I can try to knock all this dirt out of here, but it really doesn't. I don't know how this gets so dirty. It's up on the half pallet, but maybe it's just not high enough. So actually, I got almost all that out of there. So, and then I'm not gonna stand here forever and ever, amen, and make this super soaked wet like it would need to be, because that will happen naturally. I am I'm going to try the jet on this and see if I can just like, yeah, it's getting all the dirt out of it. It worked. And then it's filling back up. There's a tiny bit of dirt at the bottom there, which, you know, we're just going to have to learn. We're going to have to figure it out. Watering the chickens has been one of the things that I've struggled with from the get-go. We started with those, you know, the ones that are white on top and red on the bottom with the tray. We started with one of those, and one of the kinds that's like a bulb and that has a top. You fill it from the top and you screw that top on and off. The problem with that one was that top, I don't know what happened. It was plastic, so it's not like it got stripped out, but I couldn't screw it anymore. It got to where I just couldn't screw it at all. And so I went and got this second waterer, like this one. Sorry, there's always spider webs over here. And now as I'm doing this, I'm seeing a lot of stuff. So I'm just knocking, there goes the spider. I'm just knocking that stuff down real quick since I'm here. That screw top water lasted maybe 2 months before I literally couldn't open it anymore. And I got so frustrated. I just left and went and got a second one of these kinds of waterers. Then last year I had bought these things that it's a kit, and they even give you the drill, the hole saw drill attachment to make the holes. And Jose did the feeder, which I love. The feeder's been working great because I just pull the bucket off, take the lid off, fill it with feed, and then they go in and pull the feed out. But he didn't do the water at the same time for whatever reason. And so we were randomly talking about the water issues I was having the other night. It would be Thursday night. And I was like, yeah, I mean, we need to try. I paid for that kit. So I don't like buying things and then not even like trying to use them, right? Like if they don't work, they don't work. Like that, I don't like spending that money, but if I paid for it, I want to at least use it and try it. So I was a little frustrated that we hadn't ever done that. And we were looking at other options for waterers. And there are other kinds of waterers that I've seen before that I wanted to try. But, you know, at 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 bucks, like, it doesn't make sense to go buy another waterer when we have two that work just fine. They're just kind of a pain in the butt. And then one that we haven't even tried yet. So when I did the before earlier, I talked about how I was at work yesterday and I came home. Jose was off and he just went out and did the waterer. And so I was like, yay, what a lovely surprise. So I came home to that, and I came out and I looked at it last night when I did the chickens, and I could see that there was already dirt kind of a little bit in the bottom of the cups. I wasn't super concerned about that because it was just kind of sitting in the bottom, right? Like they would have to disturb it to get it to where it would be actually in the water they're drinking, because the clean water is just sitting on top of that little bit of dirt. But when I came in this morning, the amount of dirt had grown. It was more. So that's why I'm like, I don't know now. The fact is, like, you know, the chickens need access to clean water. Yes, they do. I see people that change their water for their chickens 2, 3, 4 times a day. I can't do that. I have a full-time job. I'm not here all day. And also, if I believed that was truly necessary, that you basically had to be home 4 times a day to change the water, then I wouldn't have chickens, because I can't do that. So yes, they need clean water. I know they need clean water, but do they need clean water every minute? I mean, look, these are birds that eat off the ground. They need grit. They actually need stones in their gizzards, in their crops, wherever it goes, that to break up their food. That's the only way they can digest. So a little bit of dirt here and there is not going to hurt them. So just so you know, I have chicken philosophies that over the last couple of years I have adapted. When I first started, I was super ridiculous, and I was trying to treat my chicken coop like it was going to be some sort of boutique thing. Chickens aren't a boutique animal. They're dirty. They poop everywhere. They make a lot of noise when they lay eggs. You know, it is what it is. They like to scratch in the dirt. They make a mess. This is going to cause dust over all of my plants that are out here, all over my air conditioner unit, and that's fine. I don't want boutique chickens. I want real chickens. Chickens that give me good, delicious, healthy eggs, and eventually give me meat that I can use to feed myself and my husband, and you know, my kids if they want it, my dad. You know, again, we aren't chicken farmers, so I'm not worried about if I was trying to sell my chicken meat to the public. It might be different. I might have a little bit of a different attitude, but at the same time, I think my chickens are well cared for, and I do love them. They're good girls. I talk to them all the time. I give them treats. You know, the things you do when you're a chicken mom, and I'm still learning. But so I don't know. I'm back here. I'm just spraying down the door because I see a lot of like grass and cobwebs built up. But let me walk back over there. I still have the wheelbarrow sitting here because I don't ever finish something before I move on to the next. So I don't know if you can see from there. Let me stop this. So we're going to see if by doing this, if we can see what it looks like now that it's wet. If not, I need to go in there. I don't know if y'all remember when I tried to come in and chop or trim this goji berry. So I didn't. I got distracted and I didn't finish and I didn't trim it. And I even told Jose last night, I was like, I have to actually finish trimming it. But if you look, the freaking thing is flowering. And all these, so I was going to take it from like here. But all these, there's flowers that are starting to pop up. So we're not trimming it. We're just going to leave it. We're going to get more berries. So that's a good thing that I guess I got distracted and didn't finish that job. I just discovered that as I was in here working on the chicken run.